Footy is back. What a weekend it's been. G'day, I'm Brisbane's finest ginger warrior, Daniel Merritt. No, wait, I'm not Daniel Merritt. I'm James Clements. I'm the host here of AFL Today, and joining me, as per usual, for the AFL Today Show, your new one-stop shop for all things footy and a bit of fun. It's a couple of local dinguses. What's going on, dinguses? We've got Alex Donnelly over there, local Swans nuff.
Yeah, I thought you would have brought out your favourite Brisbane ginger in Michael Voss, given he's now your favourite Carlton ginger.
That is a lie. He's not my favourite Carlton ginger.
Oh.
We have a long storied history of great gingers at the Carlton Football
I said
Club.
current.
We also have one dude,
Cottrell?
clearly Cotters. He did shave his head though. To,
doesn't
Yeah, I was
look-
about to
he doesn't
say,
look
Jim,
ginger
Jim
anymore.
doesn't want to be hung up in
Yeah.
Cottrell's basement.
Yeah.
Like,
Cotters
every chance.
is out there trying to dodge the accusations, and I don't appreciate it. Come on, Cotters, be
Yeah.
ginger, be
There
proud.
is someone hanging up inside that dude's basement.
Maybe. Love Cotters. Anyway, and also over there, it's the Stats Boy.
Absolutely. Daniel Merritt, I had some mates that actually were the Daniel Merritt fan club. Every time he played in Melbourne, they'd have a big bay, and they absolutely loved him. And yeah, I think I can see a bit of Daniel Merritt in you, actually. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'd say you can see Daniel Merritt in, like, well, me and Daniel Merritt. There we go. Because I'm older than him, right? So I feel like that's how it works.
Yeah, you're probably similar. Yeah.
Nice one. Either way, for more stuff like this, check out the AFL Today socials and all the good gear right there.
Yes.
What a week it was actually for the socials. We had Marmalade in, we had a whole bunch of other stuff, rankings and all that kind of gear. It was fun as.
Nick Dacos discourse.
The Dacos
Yes.
versus Harley Reid discourse hit
Ugh.
a fever peak. It was fantastic. Whoa, Harley Reid, bam, a lamp. And it was absolute chaos leading into a very, very weird up and down week of footy where I feel like 4 of the games were good, 5 of the games were bad. So, footy's back, I guess. This is the genius part where we go, geez, Jim, it's been 9 rounds. That's sad, isn't it?
I
No.
had that realisation this week.
It is sad. It is.
No,
I think
this
it
is my entire. I bring this up on NBA Australia all the time. Don't be concerned by what has gone past and how very little time there is remaining to all of us on this planet.
Is this the
Jim.
Bruce McAvaney,
It's
don't be
simply-
sad that it's over, be happy you were there to
what I
experience
thought
it?
he was
Exactly
gonna
what
say,
it is.
yeah.
It's what it's all about. This is the thing. So, old mate, she took it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to
Yes,
all the
happy
mums
Mother's
out there.
Day, yeah.
To Karen,
Yes.
Trish,
You dick.
Trish. I was right there with Trish, and of course Jocelyn,
Yes.
and Gerald's mum.
A shout out
She
to
was.
Ruthie as well.
Nice. Good times, great memories on your mums. The thing is, old mate, she does have this thing like, oh, I got the 2 squids. So, remember when they were small? It's like, yeah, they're still very small, and I'm appreciating how cool they are right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like, it was very cool then. It's still very cool now. Oh, just to think about when they'll be like this age. I'm like, I don't have to worry about that.
That's ages
future
away,
Jim's
yeah.
problem. And it'll probably be a problem, and future Jim will sort that out, fingers crossed. At the moment, current Jim is struggling as it is just to keep this one under control. What are we doing?
You've also
Don't
got
look into
stats
the
guy.
future. Now I'm worried. Anyway, so it's all about the present. And look,
This is a
9
therapy
weeks,
podcast as well
Yeah, it is.
sometimes. Yeah.
9 weeks in, technically, basically 10 weeks into the footy season.
Yes.
But the quick look before we get into the ladder wrap. Jezza is in the concussion protocol. Didn't think that giant bonce of his could actually cop any knocks that would sort of
Definitely
make him a bit wobbly, but Jesus, did he look wobbly. They kept him on the field too.
But he
That
passed
was
the test.
weird.
Yeah, we were talking, Alex and I, before this. At first, I saw that written down in the lunch, and I'm going, "Ooh, didn't look good for Geelong." But they did do all the tests; they didn't do anything wrong. Comes up the next day, but I think the AFL needs to change the way they're doing it, because Libba had the same thing. He just stayed out there for a long time, and then he got concussed again. I feel like we need to change it. I think that second, because there's the one we have to go off for 15
The
minutes.
stat test
the
or
scat one.
something.
I feel like you got to do that instead of just the question one, because otherwise there's so many concussions that are going to get worse. I don't know.
Do we need the NFL blue tent for the AFL? Question mark.
What's that? I don't
We
even-
just take him in there.
We also,
Blue
don't
tent.
have, we also don't have the space.
Looks like a porta
They
john.
take him downstairs.
Oh, yes. I've seen that. Yes.
Yeah.
Take him in the rooms.
Yeah.
So he and Hawk are not going to Darwin next week.
No.
for the,
Well, they pre-game said they're going to manage Hawk for Darwin because
He's
also,
like, I don't want to go to Darwin.
one, really sweaty.
Yes.
Not a day for the big forwards. And 2, Tom Hawkins is not going to break the Geelong all-time games record in Darwin against the Gold Coast.
That is a very good point, actually.
It also feels like, so what are we, round 9?
Yep.
Injuries are coming thick and fast. It
Yeah.
feels like
So
Carlton
many.
copping
So
it,
many
and then
concussions.
It
Oh.
feels like every game we sort of have like, they're down 2 people.
Yeah.
They've made their sub and now they're stuffed. Like Collingwood today were lucky they were playing West Coast.
Jeremy Howe went down after kicking 1 goal. Bad beat for that dude who found Jeremy Howe at 80-1 to kick 3 goals.
Oh,
He kicks a goal.
80-1?
Yeah, well, this was before, it was just right around the time McRae said, he's going to play forward because
So
we have
someone
no
bet on
forwards.
it, yeah.
Someone was just paying attention to their press conference and had, $50 on 3+ and something on 2+. Stood to win a fortune, and Jeremy Howe does his groin after 1 goal. That's
gets injured every 3
That's
weeks
a
of the
bad boy.
That
Yeah,
is a bad beat.
it feels like injuries. So, look, obviously, Carlton, Melbourne, we were live streaming that one. Similar sort of vibes where Carlton are just like, are we just going to keep pinging hammies? Is that what?
Yeah, you have a hamstring problem there.
This is a
Hamstring awareness is,
Carlton,
is deep.
Deeper Carlton discussion. Like, even me, a supporter, has hamstring awareness.
It's just something
Like, what
about
are we
it.
doing?
Something about it.
And the last one here in the quick look is, geez, can we sort out Saturday night footy?
Oh, yeah.
Can we?
Well-
I feel like the last good game was, Swans and Essendon in round 2?
Bulldogs Richmond, maybe at the start of the year,
No,
like when they penciled in.
that game was always going to be crap.
No, I don't know. But definitely North Gold Coast, we should not be on a Saturday night.
But that's a secondary Saturday.
Yeah,
night.
We did
That's
get
fine.
Melbourne Geelong last week.
Oh,
which
we
was-
did too.
which was fine.
Yeah.
But
But I
still,
agree, this
it
Saturday
feels
night was
like
the
if,
worst,
If we're going
yeah.
to double barrel it,
Yeah.
can we make sure one of them's good?
No.
So
Both horrible.
the next week double barrel is St Kilda and Freo, I'm assuming at Marvel,
No.
and Brisbane and Richmond going on at the exact same time.
Stagger. It's
yeah.
not hard. Right. It's time for everyone's favourite ladder check.
Yes.
Check.
I know I'm cheering that.
There is one single team at the top of the AFL ladder.
You wouldn't know about it if you lived in Victoria.
Oh, I have a sook.
I'm
We're
going
gonna
to.
talk about it.
We're
We're gonna
going
talk
to.
about
Nobody talks about my really good team.
I've talked about it
Sure.
last week.
Swans are 8-1. Geelong
Wow,
7-2 after a very, very tough loss to Port. That game was wild. We'll talk about that in a second. Essendon, what?
Third?
What?
That just feels wrong.
The lid is off in East Keilor. Watch out. 6-2-1.
not
6-2-1 for the Bombers.
And the percentage is 98.
It doesn't matter about the percentage because of
I
the
know,
draw, yeah.
But it's just wild.
Yeah, 98. That's one of the worst percentages.
It's literally
in the,
the
top
worst
4 ever.
percentage down to 14th at the
That's
moment.
crazy.
Great job. We then have 4 teams at 6-3. That is the Melbourne Demons, the GWS Giants, the Port Adelaide Power, and the Carlton Blues.
I was
That
going
works,
to say Blue Airs.
Blue Airs,
I was
yeah.
putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. That's
That
what
works
it's all about.
crazily well.
Collingwood are 5-3-1 at the moment as well,
Yeah.
holding up the 8. That's the bottom of the 8. So because of that tie on Anzac Day, we have 2 teams in the 8 that are weirdly positioned, where you've got the Bombers at 3 and you've got
Yep.
the Pies at 8 with that
So
one crummy weird one.
If the Bombers got rolled that day, they would currently be
day?
8th
Oh.
on the draw.
Because of
if,
the,
if the draw. So
Yes,
if Collingwood won that game,
you're right,
they'd
yeah.
be 8th.
So the draw is sneaky helpful.
The draw is so helpful for
Pretty
Essendon.
handy. Then outside of the 8, we have Freo and Gold Coast at 5 and 4.
Yep.
That checks out because they feel both very similar. I
They're
feel like
on the
Gold Coast,
borderline, yeah.
Gold Coast have the upside. Freo, we'll talk about them again in a second.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
Bulldogs, there is your line of demarcation. Are you a
Yes.
good team? Question mark. Are you
Yeah.
better than the Bulldogs? No. Then you're 4 and 5 and you're in
Yes.
11. Sorry, Gerald. We are currently watching the final quarter of the Adelaide Crows versus
Yes.
the Brisbane Lions.
Winner is still going to be below the Bulldogs.
That's right, which means they're cooked. That is the line of demarcation. It's the
Yeah.
greatest thing about the Western Bulldogs line. Are you worse than the Bulldogs? Then you're not playing finals. Simple as that. So
Easy.
whoever wins this will be at least even with them on points and will be below them still on percentage. But this
That's
game is
embarrassing
tight
for both
as.
those teams, yeah.
It's hilarious for both these teams.
But
But
the
boy, hilarious.
It
Not
is.
embarrassing and hilarious.
No, but yeah, it can be both.
The
yeah.
hilarious part is the loser will still be above St Kilda.
It's like you hanging out with your family. You're embarrassing
Wait, what?
and a loser. What?
Whoa.
So the Saints are 3 and 6. Hawthorn are 3 and 6.
Yeah.
That's gross. Then we also have West Coast at 2 and 7, standalone 2 and 7. I think we posited this a fair while ago, and I think I might have been the first one to bring it up that Richmond would finish below West Coast,
I agreed.
and off we
We
went.
didn't know they were going to have so many
And then
injuries. to be
boom,
fair.
they've already gotten to 2 wins, and
Yeah.
Richmond look like they'll never win again.
I can't wait to play Richmond round 21.
Like the Titans.
Could that be 0 and 22
I-
versus 1 and 20?
It actually could be because I was talking to my Richmond mate last night. He's like, "Oh, I can't wait for round 21." I was like,
Did
"What's
you-
round
did you
21?"
both go through the-
No, I didn't. He just came up to me last night going, "Look at this. We play each other round 21."
So is that the first time you play each
Yeah,
other?
we play a lot of teams twice, and we don't play Richmond until round 21.
It's the same with the Swans. They
Yeah.
don't play Port till round 21, but they've got double ups like out the wazoo before then.
That's weird.
Anyway,
yeah.
Tigers 1 and 8. North Melbourne still without a win.
Oh, really?
0 and 9. You hate to see it.
I didn't even know.
Right, let's do event sesh very quickly. First one. We're just never going to open the roof, are we?
No.
It's there for a reason.
It was a remarkably beautiful Mother's Day today. And A,
it was.
You know what mums love? The footy. B, you know what mums love? Open the roof.
Do they?
Mums love being in the open air.
That's true. That's true.
Your mum is like, you know what I'd love for Mother's Day? A picnic outdoors. Like, you could have a picnic at the footy.
Yeah, no, my mum would go.
Not when the roof is closed. You're not outside. It's not a picnic. That is just sitting in a giant airplane hangar while dudes run around playing footy. That's stupid. Open the roof. We're never opening it.
I agree today.
Why have the functionality if you're not going to open it? It was beautiful. It's Mother's Day. There was only 38,000 people for this Pies game where they can sell out basically an MCG. There is a big contingent of West Coast fans here. They're up and about this year. We had 38,000. What are we doing? Open your roof. That might be a start. Anyway, the other one.
They could have played it at the MCG.
It was
a contracts thing, West
we'll
Coast,
talk about the contracts anyway. The other one is the sad one. Cam McCarthy. So
horrible.
passes away.
This sucks.
It's horrible.
We can't move this game
Give it
to Sunday.
So
we have 2 games
I don't know.
today.
It sounds bad, but every sport, like, has sports ever changed for that? I don't know.
Adelaide and Geelong was postponed when Phil Walsh was tragically passed away, but Phil Walsh was the current coach. Cam McCarthy not being on the list since 2020. Close friends with a lot of the
it was
Fremantle
horrible.
players.
They're just standing there crying.
And they're literally half the team is in tears,
I've never been more
and they had to play a game.
It was like Swans fan watching the game. It was weird.
Yeah, it was.
Like I was just like this.
Move the game. We've literally got 2 games on today. Move it to Sunday evening.
But then it would have been something like the Swans could have said, "Oh, but we have to play in Sydney on Thursday or Friday night, so you're giving us a 5-day break."
They don't have. I know.
All those things would have come into
Crimea River. They lost a mate.
Yeah,
Like things. Some things are a little bit more important.
But why they've done that.
And I'm also thinking from the broadcast perspective as well. Like
there were 2 games on that night as well.
I know that was the dumbest thing ever.
It's the dumbest thing. It's just like we've already got a game on tonight.
Yeah, it was on Friday.
Move it across. We'll move this to Sunday night footy. Boom. It should be an easy fix.
That's a good call.
What are we doing?
Good call.
That it tugged at the heartstrings because, look, this is one of my biggest things about where they talk about mental health. And then we talk about it you have to play footy right now.
Yeah.
What do you think would have been better for the entire Dockers team and their fans for their mental health? Anyone who's struggling like that would be just like, oh, cool, no one cares about me. Great. That sucks.
Yeah.
Move it on. Basically go, right, we need to get around everybody here. You're all very clearly in a state of shock and a mess. They were all clearly a mess. They played horribly. Like, how hard is it to play footy when your mind is on something else like that?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Move the game.
Fair call.
Right. That got a bit serious.
Yeah.
Game wraps! Carlton, Melbourne. That game sucked.
You need a Fitbit.
Carlton won.
You were not here for the live stream, but I'm sure you were.
I had it on in the background.
The funniest thing of all time is Jim being quiet for once in the last quarter, and he's just sitting there like, oh, geez. And then, we were never going to lose.
Oh, God, it's happening again.
And then I was cheering for Melbourne so hard. That was hilarious. Very, very
Makes
funny.
you support Stats Boy.
You would do the same.
5 goals to Christian Petrarca. So he got tagged out of the first half by Matty Kennedy. They send him forward. He boots 5. Nearly wins the game off his own back. Ends up with 21 disposals as well.
That's one of the best individual performances we'll see this year.
It was insane. So
it's Melbourne, back. Jump on.
Yeah.
Like, if he hadn't gotten a towel in the first half, would they have done it?
Yeah.
But he got towed so much, they went, right, we actually need to send him forward.
Yeah.
And it saved the game almost for Melbourne.
Those type of games, chuck him forward. He's a great forward. But it's also
like, it is a great thing for later in the year as well. It's like, we can just put him forward.
Yeah. Cripps and Walsh combined for 69. Nice disposals. Enjoyed that a lot. The sort of way that they got up early by not missing any shots was very cool.
That was handy, yeah.
The biggest problem for Carlton is going, hey, we've done lots, and
you don't know how
in
to,
the rack, and we just don't know how to close out a game.
You don't know how to ice a game. It is painfully obvious.
They nearly bottled it against GWS. Like, everybody at Marvel that day absolutely bottled it because they then bottled it against Adelaide.
Yep.
They bottled it against Geelong. They bottled it against Collingwood.
Adelaide.
They almost bottled. I already said Adelaide. They almost bottled it against the Demons. It was ridiculous. What are you doing?
Freo and gather round.
Grow up here. Yeah. God damn.
Like, that's the biggest issue. Like,
at the same time, if we hit on this very quickly on the live stream, win some of these games and it's a lot easier.
But it's been a thing that you've been doing since late last year. You've been winning these games, but it's like you're just getting out of trouble. It's like you're not hey, sword.
Like
bang,
it's not
game
like
over.
taking that next step of being that dominant team.
It's
that
not.
it can
It's
be,
not
yeah.
being it's not having that 6-goal break at halftime and having it still be 6
I
or
like
7.
that you're saying things that you don't think I've thought 1
Yeah.
million
No, of
times.
course.
But
Yeah,
you're also
let's
saying-
get out there.
It's literally the entire thing is Carlton out and putting teams away,
Yeah.
and like nothing is easy.
Yeah.
And it should be because they have 2 dominant forwards. They now have Jack Martin back.
Yeah.
Boy, does he look! He makes them look so much better.
But
as
it's
chaos.
also a worry for later in the year going the mental and physical toll of all of these tight,
All of them.
close games is just going to
Yeah, and
come
then
back to
you
hurt
could be
you.
in the back of your head when
At
you're
the
like,
same
oh
time,
crap, we almost lost this. And then
We
it's
also
like-
did say prior to the live stream they have a crazy 6-game run to get 1 win out of that at the moment.
You're beating
like,
Melbourne no matter
stoked.
what. That's a massive
Yeah.
tick.
At the moment it is. Another game was happening on Friday.
Well,
Yes.
moving to Friday now.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything else from Carlton and Melbourne?
No, good
really.
live stream. Good.
That was a fun
Very
live
very
stream.
fun. Oh, it was. The game was actually a bit boring in the middle part, and then it just went.
Then it was
Oh my
chaos.
god!
Chaos.
It was just nuts.
Carlton can't just close it
Oh,
out.
still supremely concerned about Melbourne's forward line.
Yeah,
I know they're what 6 and 3.
Yeah,
they're in a lot of trouble.
They need Petrarca in the midfield because Oliver's still a bit up and down. Then they're like, oh wait, but we need you to play full forward, midfield, and then get on the wing. Like, yeah, they can't play.
They
it everywhere.
don't. Yeah, they don't have anything going for them forward wise against good teams. They're trying to win games 75 to 70.
Mm-hmm.
When they come up against better teams like Carlton,
The Hairman and I think was it Petty also like
Fridge.
sprayed a couple of like
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah.
That like basically saved Carlton's bacon.
They
at
put
that
Petty
time.
down there thinking, yeah, he'll fix them. But
Anyway,
Yeah, no,
2
not
games
fun.
Friday. Let's do it. Geelong lost at the Cattery to the
Oh.
Port Adelaide Power for the first time since 2007.
Dominic Cassisi.
Travis Boak's second game, which shows how 353 games.
95, 101. Power, hold on. Absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. The Hornet was really, really good. God,
Yeah.
Butters
JHL.
was amazing. He set the tone, I think, as well.
Butters led from
But
the
it's just
front.
they just went. You know what? Pin the ears back. No fear. Let's go.
And I can't help saying that Ken Hinkley was genuinely really good tactics. They got into Stewart, rattled him a little bit. They were just trying to play on at all costs. Usually they like to go long and
Just run and gun.
They were just run and gun, which is they haven't done in a while. And I was like, oh, Ken's actually doing a good job here. Well
They
done.
almost bottled it.
Yes.
They took Jim saying they were frauds personally.
Yes.
The Ollie Henry shot late, right? Where it was from Jezza, wasn't it, to Ollie Henry or something like that?
And then Jezza kicked it off the ground in the goal square.
Yeah, and then it's just like, what is happening? And then
So they
we miss out on the advantage.
Advantage
So
you're talking about, yeah.
The advantage, they don't get the goal.
So the umpire blew the whistle.
We can bring it back, he misses
The umpire blew the whistle before the ball was kicked, so he'd stopped the advantage because I think enough.
I reckon it was a bit stiff because they sometimes pay that.
No, because then the fact as soon as the ball was in the air and it was going to a 50-50, they'd say, nah, no advantage, bring it back anyway. So
Half the time they go sucked in, you've kicked it.
A lot of
Yeah.
the times they just, if they kick a goal, they just let it go.
Yeah, but
I
it's
reckon.
like
So
you've
I
kicked
think
it
it
to a
should have been a goal.
50-50 ball. It just Jezza decided to cannonball through a pack.
Yeah.
This game was a rollicking affair.
Well, at
where
half
Geelong
time
are
it
trying
was
to
like
figure
game
out
over.
what's going on.
Yeah.
And Geelong just came from the clouds like, we're still here. What's going on? Check this
It was
out.
nuts.
It was just a strange old game, I thought.
What about Reece Stanley getting subbed off because he was getting destroyed by a bloke in his fourth game in the ruck?
Yeah,
Like,
start of the second
have
quarter.
we seen an earlier sub ever? Like, can Sir Swamp Thing
he's
tweet
been
us?
Early
horrible.
tactical subs, right?
Yeah.
I think there has been a couple, but very, very rarely. Probably like 3 in the history of subs. Like that was-
Willie was amazing. 4
Willie,
and 3.
oh, yeah.
4 goals, 3.
Well,
amazing gear. Could have been.
Geelong
like,
could have
at least
manned up
6
on him
goals.
in the last quarter sometimes.
Stengel kicked 4 up the other end,
Yeah.
which is gnarly.
Yep.
Gary Rowan had a massive moment, like a couple of moments late.
Yeah, he's clutch.
Butters and Wines.
Tell that to Sydney Swans fans.
Yes. Not when he was at
God,
Sydney.
he
Yeah.
wasn't.
Wines was incredible. Enjoyed that.
Yeah, he really wound the clock back, didn't
157,
he?
super coach on my bench.
no C Rosie, so I'll just step up.
Yeah.
Remember
Will and
how-
Drew was pretty good as well.
He's like, remember how I won a Brownlow?
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah.
I don't know how he won a
You
Brownlow.
did. That's still weird.
That was weird.
You shouldn't have won that.
No.
We'll give it to Chris Judd.
Also, how does Brian Myers, anytime he
He's
gets
so
the footy,
good.
I believe his name is pronounced Lionel Messi.
Grindel
Messi.
Messi, sorry.
Messi,
How
Messi.
does every time he gets the footy, no matter how much traffic is near him, he dishes out a handball to someone? It is ridiculous.
No,
he's Lionel
he
Messi.
kicks it inside 50 every
No,
time.
no, but what I mean is like he gets
He gets a good
little
handball
pack,
out,
he's just
yeah.
like bang,
Yeah, yeah,
he just
yeah.
like he contorts his body. It's just like
Underrated,
what
I
are you
reckon.
doing?
Do you think it was just the news that the $5.1 million of taxpayer money to get a
Oh, how
scoreboard?
bad was that?
4.1.
We haven't even talked 4.1, yeah.
I just had another
You just
meal.
had another meal.
That's
That is
how
a
it
joke.
works, public purse.
Took it out of cancer research and stuff, apparently. That is
Chaos.
a joke.
Absolute chaos.
all
Should be
people-
ashamed of yourself, Geelong.
All people from Geelong are like, oh, we don't really need a new scoreboard. That's pretty
Who
good.
wants it? It's like, no. Someone in the building's like, no, we need it. I've got to pay off my
I'm
jet
gonna play PlayStation. on
Chris
that big
Scott was
scoreboard.
actually trying to funnel it towards the salary cap in the second quarter. He's like, hey, we need another Jezza. Someone.
Jezza.
Yeah. We'll take Harley Reid. 5 million over 2 years.
Love that. But it was a huge win for Port.
Big win.
Because it moves them back into sixth. They were frauds. They've now beaten Geelong. Geelong, suddenly, that's a big loss because they've just lost to Melbourne.
Yeah.
They basically should have lost
The
to
last
Carlton.
2 weeks, they've been really off.
They look off the boil. So has the title of frauds switched hands?
They're still, what are they, second on the ladder?
St Kilda still exists.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
But also like it's a thing for Geelong that they play Gold Coast up in Darwin next week. All of a sudden, they lose 3 of their last 4.
See what happens. Interesting.
Not great.
Right, Freo. This is the tough one. 39-87.
Yeah.
Swans ran over the top of them.
Not
Take it
ran over
away,
the top.
Alex.
Freo hit the ground running, and just started running with the footy, but they tried to handball through the Swans press. That was their theory, and the Swans like, we're just going to tackle the ever-living hell out
Is
of
he
you.
going to be like really just like nerdy about this?
No.
Probably, because he's got 52,000
Oh
notes.
my
so-
God, look at all these notes.
I paid attention.
Shut up, nerd.
But no, Caleb Sarong had 24 touches at halftime.
Yeah, that was
But it
nuts.
was just like, yeah, you can get your little touches here and there, but you're not damaging. It was tagging Clark and Young is what stopped Freo's run out of the
Young
back
got
half.
completely taken
Yeah,
out.
But it was like-
Clark's been underrated this
Nat
year.
Fife was like, I'm going to try and take eyes. Oh, that was a terrible idea. 3 times in the 1 quarter.
He got smashed. It
Yeah.
was hilarious.
He was off.
3
Yeah,
times
old.
in the 1 quarter.
getting older.
It was, yeah.
Ugh,
he's
no good.
lost it. But also, before the game, he and Alex Pearce just looked so...
it would have been so tough playing.
It wasn't great. James Jordan, who the Demons could desperately need right now, 2 weeks in a row or 3 weeks in a row.
He's been good.
Whitfield, Noah Anderson, and Clark. He's just tagged him out of the game. Isaac Heaney, 3 more votes? Question mark?
I don't
Or
know.
Ollie Florent.
Florent
was awesome.
I thought he was awesome.
I thought
yeah.
Florent was the
Yeah.
best player on the night. But
Who else?
Heat Machine could have kicked me a goal.
yeah,
just saying.
that would have helped.
Yeah, if you get the goal, maybe you would have got the more votes. Yeah.
Also, contract year Jake Stringer has now been replaced by contract year Will Hayward.
Oh.
8 goals in the last 2
Yeah,
weeks
yeah.
and an extra couple of zeros on that
On that
contract.
He's
Carlton
going
contract.
to look so good in Carlton Blue.
Thanks for that first round pick, Jim. It's going to
Yeah.
be great.
I don't care about kicks. I
They
just want
do
a
need
flag.
forward. They do need forwards to
They,
be fair. Yeah.
well, they just need Jack Martin 2.0 that doesn't
Yeah.
get injured every week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
But,
a bit more extra run
yeah.
than Jack Martin.
So Freo, they were what, 1 goal 10, 1 goal 11
They
and a
weren't
half.
playing
there
that
was a
bad.
moment. There was a moment where we were messaging. It's like it was 1 goal 10 to 10 goals 1.
Yeah, a bit of numerology
sick.
that Cam Mooney does.
It was the reverse. But Chad Warner, that just pace and explosion he's got out of packs. A couple of 20-odd touches and a couple of goals.
Yep.
Forward line's still not really clicking for the Swans. Like Logan McDonald's getting to
Too
contest.
many dudes. Can we say that about Sydney's forward line?
Well, we've got Logan and Amadi.
A lot of good dudes, but
Logan and Amadi are the 2 power forwards, and McLean's chopping out in the ruck. Like Brody Grundy slaughtered Luke Jackson.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was 43 hit outs
Who would
to
trade
9
him out
or
in
something.
Supercoach?
It was-
Not me,
Yeah.
but anyway.
It was
Everyone's saying
insane. But the most important thing for the Swans is they've played 6 out of the other 9 sides in the top 10.
This is the one.
They are
Oh.
6-4-6 at the moment.
That is
good.
Like,
great.
So they are like it's
Just wait till they play the Blue. Oh,
yeah. So next
I'm
Friday,
already I'm pretty angry about that game.
sandwich bet.
No.
Oh, why not?
Carlton
Why
gonna
not?
get smacked.
Can I get a sandwich bet when
We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Carlton literally have never won at the SCG in my entire life.
Really?
So never, ever.
That's insane.
That might not actually be literal.
That's not
Yeah.
true, but
That's
in
actually just
Jim's memory,
in
it's
my
not
brain.
good memories at the SCG.
It's like the Carlton Melbourne game, as I was talking about how like listening to it on the radio with my dad
Yeah.
building a house on a Saturday
And some
afternoon.
dude kicked 8
Neil
goals.
Hanna kicked 8 goals
Yeah.
and we still lost. Still sucks. We've never won in the SCG.
Yeah.
Anyway, but this one's look unreal.
Well, on top of the ladder, most points in the comp, and they've allowed the least already as well. So everything's really clicking for them. Aaron Francis, he looked very sloppy early, but built
he's
into
not
the
good.
game.
Yeah.
He's a good second man up because if Tom
Yeah.
McCartan doesn't play next week, Lewis Melican will give Charlie Curnow a bath for the 3rd consecutive time.
But basically, Paul went out for Freo. Like they were just all
Yeah.
completely off. Tracy and Amiss were all off, and it
Yeah.
was just like,
Well, Tracy genuinely kicked a goal that was given a point.
Yeah, that was a goal.
weird.
That
Yeah,
was a goal.
that
Yeah, he
was a
had
goal.
2, but the
No,
second one was
one
a
was
point.
a miss, I thought.
But there was one that just looked like it went straight through the middle. It was
Yeah,
weird.
like thankfully this wasn't a close game. Otherwise, we've been like, hey, like first of all, umpires having a crack and making a call, good stuff.
Yep.
But you couldn't.
also get it right.
Yeah, but it wasn't great. Also, was it Jeremy Sharp, 2 goals and 28 touches?
How are you still talking about this?
I don't know. Go this one.
He was good though.
He
Go
won
this
by
way.
a million.
Yeah,
Like,
it was great.
Where did you get shout out
Saturday,
by
we go to
Swans podcast?
Tassie,
Oh, I need
Hawthorn.
water.
What a
Get over the
game.
top of St Kilda. We were messaging during this one as well.
This was great.
I saw the
Our
end of this.
social boy Leo was shirts off, running
Has
around.
he actually got back from Launceston yet?
I think he's swimming.
Yeah.
58-53, the Hawks hold on for a famous win.
Famous win.
Mostly because James Sicily didn't rock up.
Yes.
And that
needs
might
it?
have been the reason they won.
Yeah.
They don't need that negativity.
Negativity.
Yeah.
It's like, so you're in the huddle, boys.
He gets the
I hate
tape
playing
like-
here.
Hey, boys, listen up. You know what sucks? This place! I hate it!
So let's just lose and get out
So-
of here.
I hate the fresh air. I hate the amazing food. I hate the people. I just hate everything about Tassie. It's like,
It's Momo.
James, it's the third quarter, mate. Concentrate on the game. He's like, never!
He's actually punched someone by then as well.
So all I want in my life is similar. We'll talk about the Collingwood fan who grabbed the West Coast Eagles player.
Yeah.
Yes.
During the
I'm
game.
going to talk about that.
If someone did that to James Sicily, we would have a Malice in the Palace situation where
reckon
he's
murder
just
me-
swimming
no,
through
murder Cantona
Tassie
kick.
fans. He's like, finally, I've gotten it.
No, he goes into
Bang!
he goes, where are you from? Tassie?
Where are you from? Glenferrie. Oh, you're sweet, man. How good's the food there, man?
So, an amazing win, though.
Yeah.
Like,
This wasn't a great game, let's be honest.
It was sick.
It was fun. No,
58-53,
it was
but it was
weirdly
gnarly
fun.
towards the end,
It was
right?
weirdly fun.
Max
Yeah.
King completely cooked it at the end. He had his both, like, if you can touch the ball, you can mark the ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's always been my adage. If you can touch it,
He's
you
really
can mark
off. He's, ugh.
it. And the ball somehow hit both of his hands
But that's.
and then just completely clanked off.
The
And
old
I'm like, that was the
under 10s
game-winning
mark.
mark.
But does
What
that
are you
not
doing?
sum up Max King?
That is Max King.
Like, are we,
Always his problem.
at the point where we can finally say everyone thinking, 10 years over $1 million per year? He does not deserve that money. He is more Eric Hipwood than he is Charlie Curnow.
Ooh.
I think he's, that's not, I agree with that right now, but I
He's
still think
Eric-
he'll be a good player. I still think he can be a good
He's
player.
more Eric Hipwood than Charlie
He
Curnow.
does-
Everyone
I think if we let him actually have a little bit of run where he just plays consistent football and games.
Yeah,
then
he's
we're all
been
good.
injured a lot, yeah.
He
Yeah.
missed all of last year.
All of last,
right?
yeah,
So-
we got him some slack.
Not
wasn't
all
it?
of last year. No,
Chunks
that
of
was it was his brother who missed the
Yeah.
full year at the Gold Coast.
They both had bad
But
injuries.
he did his shoulder at the start of last year.
Yeah.
Came back in middle of the year.
And it's just like, come on, just let him go. But still,
Yeah.
it was a shocking
The
one.
Wizard was my favourite player in this one. He only got 2 goals, but he was just igniting the crowd. He kicked one from outside 50. The commentator's like, he's got to pass this off. I can't believe he's having a shot. He's got to pass this off.
I still-
And he says, stuff you commentators. Kicks one from 50.
Well,
the crowd's
see,
going
the
nuts.
comment-
He's this small. He's smaller than me. It's unbelievable.
The commentators
Maybe we
wouldn't
could
have
fight
heard
you
him
guys.
as they were, they
Nah,
were
he
in
would be-
studio in Melbourne rather than being in Tasmania.
I think they were there for
Were
the
they?
Tassie game.
Good. Finally.
You like that then?
About
yeah.
time.
That's
Yeah.
good.
think they were there.
I just hate that his nickname's the Wizard. He's going to be a good player, but I just hate that it's the
he's
Wizard.
still
I
no
don't know,
Jeff.
I like
he's
it.
no Jeff
Yeah,
Farmer.
I know, but I just like funny nicknames as well.
Who is Jeff Farmer? Nobody.
Yeah.
Apart from Jeff Farmer. Anything else about this one? It was a
Ross
really,
Lyon.
really. What's that?
Ross Lyon.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about Ross Lyon later.
Okay.
Yeah.
This
Really
game-
intense.
Great win for Hawthorn. Like Sam Mitchell turning the results around. They've still got
They've got lots of people out as well,
A horrendously long injury list.
Yeah.
And
They're
St
playing
Kilda, you still stink.
3-6 looks a lot better than 2-7.
Yeah.
And also,
But they've won their last 2.
but the funny part is, like, St Kilda's also
Yeah.
3-6.
But it's like Hawthorn got belted 2 weeks ago by 80 points, and they've just gone bang, bang,
Yeah.
turn it around. Everyone's like,
It's great.
Oh, Hawthorn's rebuild's cooked. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
A
they're like
few
2
weeks later.
It's
the thing is, it's still like they're not.
But if they win 6 games this year with all their injuries, considering what they won 8 last year, they've been beset by injuries.
Yeah,
I think that's a good result.
I agree.
Like, I think we towards the end of last season, we are like, oh, better watch your Hawks, sneaky
Yeah.
pick for the 8. It's like, oh, wait, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Nah.
That's cooked.
Nah.
So they're
So
still underwhelming in what we thought of from last year.
Yeah.
I think there's
But
yeah.
from where they were like a month ago,
They're all right.
way
yeah.
better.
And the other thing, there's a few guys that people go, oh, I didn't think they're going to be that good.
Yeah.
They actually got some good guys.
Meanwhile, we've got Darcy Fogarty lining
They
up
were
to
down
put
by
Adelaide
12 a
back up
second
again.
He's lining up for his 5th.
Yeah,
it's
it's
his
the
4th or his
fog.
5th.
I'm going to blame producer Gerald. He forces us to tape early.
Well, you can't blame Joe.
I've actually
He's like, boys, it's 3/4 time. Get in there, I'll smash her. And you're like, jeez,
and the
Gerald
thing
said
is,
it
he
now, mate.
will. Producer Gerald is jacked.
Yeah.
He is. He's easily the most. Well, he's clearly more jacked than me. He's more.
Nah, it's pretty hard.
Like,
you know, yeah.
To be fair, Stats Guy did just come off the
What is
lot
going
of the new studio film Planet of the Apes. Stats Guy just came straight from there.
yeah. You don't like my shirt?
Oh,
you
the
you just
fog.
came off a cruise, I heard you say.
I did.
I heard you say before.
I thought
Came
it's
from
because he was
Cocktail
doing the cricket. It was the 1937 cricket shirt.
And look at Alex.
He's come off the street.
Anyway,
Nah, it's a good jacket.
I love this
No,
jacket.
I like that jacket.
I thought you lost it.
I found it. It was in a box.
Clearly.
I was looking for it.
Good
yesterday. I
chat,
was like,
boys. Good chat.
Next game, Jim. Next game.
Jeff, where'd you put it?
Too long here. Next game.
Essendon, there's holes in the wall.
How are we only up to Essendon and GWS?
Essendon and GWS, 82-62. The Bomb Rays hold on.
Yes.
They were down, then they were not.
They were down 3 goals at one point, I think.
This
Yeah,
basically
more, 20
felt like
points, I reckon,
it did
yeah.
feel exactly like the
20-something.
moment where you're like, did the Bombers have it in them to come back, or did GWS just sort of choke the living hell out of them?
There was
It didn't happen that way.
No tsunami.
There was no tsunami in this one. Marvel just might be a bit of a bugbear for GWS. They lose to Carlton.
The
there.
way Essendon play as well is really good for Marvel.
It's very nice for
Because
Marvel.
they just really quick on
Yeah,
the
they lost to
counter-attack.
Essendon at Marvel last year too, GWS.
Lost to Carlton there too, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
And it just, look, weird game,
Watching
fun game
Was,
at
yeah.
times.
What-
Apart from, not much happened in the last 10 minutes
No.
of it.
It was a good pressure sort of game. One of those ones where you're not seeing heaps of goals, but you go and there's just tackles everywhere. There's bodies flying everywhere.
But the way
Don't
the
mind that
Bombers
sort of game.
turned this around, right? So it was 2 goals for every 1 goal the GWS were basically scoring. You're like, they're
Yeah.
in front. They're
still
staying
in
in front. My God. No one's
They're in
scoring. And they've
front.
won.
Oh my God,
just
Mac
happened?
Welfie's kicked his third.
It was chaos.
Also-
GWS.
Flat, very flat. Haven't beaten anyone in the 8 this year.
No.
So their results, Collingwood have now snuck into the 8.
Yeah.
So this was before this morning. But so Collingwood's the only team in the 8 that they've beaten. They've been belted by the Swans. They were very flat this week.
They're letting
Lost to Carlton. So that's 3 of their last 4.
Langford's been really good as well, but you shouldn't be, especially Guelph,
Well,
you shouldn't be letting Guelph kick 3, Langford kick 4. Langford was great though, yeah.
They didn't move Sam Taylor to Langford until the damage was done.
Yeah, yeah.
And Guelphy
He was
destroyed
unbelievable.
Lockie Whitfield.
Yeah.
And then made it count on the scoreboard. Even if they still would have won even if he didn't kick those goals because they would have found a way. But they hurt Lockie Whitfield who doesn't like to defend. Also, shout out to Mac Welfie's celebration with the nail polish
Yeah, that
for
was
the kids.
sick. Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So GWS's best win is over Gold Coast.
I thought Collingwood round 0.
I mean, round
Oh,
1.
you say, yeah.
Round 0.
But
whatever.
that was when
But
Collingwood
basically,
didn't
it's
know
like,
what they were doing. Yeah.
Outside of that one, it's like the round that doesn't count.
Yeah.
I thought
Outside
you
of
two
that,
were
it's
saying
like,
they're.
jeez.
Yeah, you look at
guys
their
are, they're the
wins.
best
That
team.
hurt. That's it. I believed in GWS.
I did as well, I did.
And this is what, watching that game, I'm like, I am so puzzled as to how the lack of run is suddenly not there.
They should never
they've got
lose this type of
injuries,
game,
but
yeah.
this is the game they win, right?
But-
If you're legit, you win this game.
Is this also like last year where in May and June they were a bit middling how you going and then they got the
Then
run?
yeah,
They're
that's
trying
true.
to time the run.
Well, I think what we can see is that their upside is still chaos.
Yeah.
And we've
they have
seen that upside.
big
But the problem
downside.
is,
Their bad is bad.
it's like, this is it. The roof is the ceiling.
That's the other thing we've also underrated Essendon, but you tipped them. But I know a lot of
But
people would
they
not
are-
have tipped them.
No. You underrated Essendon. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
all right.
am a secret Essendon supporter, as we all know.
Oh,
Clearly,
get outta here, get
Love
outta here.
Essendon. Big Essendon supporter on this for this bloke over here. Just
The
really all
Carlton
about
supporter.
Essendon.
That's
You're right.
gross.
No, I think it's fantastic. I love that Essendon are third on the ladder. I think that's fantastic for the Bombers. It is the
See,
greatest thing.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
There is no wait for
No,
it.
No,
he
'cause-
just wants to get Essendon followers.
Because,
to the
yeah,
roof.
because it,
What do you mean?
Because
they're a great team, stats guys.
They
They're
are, they
third
are.
on the
He's
ladder.
trying to jinx them, yeah.
Shush. The Roos are like what, 20th? There's only 18 teams. It's the
We're
best
below
part.
Northern Territory and Tassie.
And East Keeler under 14s,
Yeah.
then the Roos. So
Fair.
mixed under 14s.
no, the Ashmont Demons under 12.
The Auskick kids that I watched on Saturday morning, probably better than the Roos at this point. Bombers, legit, and definitely a flag contender.
This is the best reverse mock ever.
What reverse mock? Shush. Richmond are horrible. They scored 42 points. Western Bulldogs ripped off 19-19, 133.
They should have
So-
kicked close to 200. They missed so many easy goals in this
So
one.
my belief is Saturday night's games aren't real and they don't count. So
Let's fly through them then.
I can agree with
James
that, yeah.
Harms kicked 4 in this game.
that proves it's not real.
doesn't
Throwback.
happen.
Hamzy, prime Hamzy, he's back.
Because the stats. So Richmond were minus 106 on disposals, negative 36 on inside 50s, negative 13 on tackles when
they don't have the ball. How
when
do
the
you-
Dogs
But what about free kicks?
Oh.
What
I don't
about
know.
free
We
kicks?
can have a look at it.
Well, you lost-
Richmond are clearly just always hated by the umpires, Alex. Come on,
okay.
man.
100-point
Be
difference is
serious.
not because of the umpires.
Really, stats guy?
Yeah, I'm
Way-
just saying.
way
I'm
to
not
sell
saying
the
it-
joke. Way
I'm not
to-
saying that to you. I'm saying,
Just
just in
way to
general.
sell the
Annoys
joke.
me.
Good,
Oh,
good
Oh,
stuff.
come on.
And anyway, that one.
Jesus, good having you
And
back
they were
on,
negative-
back on the show.
Oh,
it wasn't a
God.
good joke, so I couldn't.
Oh,
couldn't go
Adelaide.
on.
Yeah.
We're about to just watch Adelaide completely
Yeah,
cough
for
up
2
this
minutes.
game.
Yeah, and they have. They were 2 goals in front. That's a
Bang.
goal or a point.
Ah,
Handy
missed it.
point. There's a point in it.
1 point in it.
Anyway, so negative 50 on scores from turnover as well. But does this change anyone's thinking on the Western Bulldogs? They've beaten Richmond.
No.
And
No,
Richmond
no,
had 3
no.
dudes go down as well.
I think even Bulldog supporters, I've got a lot of family that are
What it
Bulldog supporters.
changes
They're
for
not
me
confident at all. Yeah.
is the simple idea of like we need the mid-season trade period
Yeah.
up until, I want to say, round,
13?
literally the bye rounds.
So end of round 13, 14.
During the bye rounds, we have the trade. You can trade anyone throughout the season up until the buys. You can finish that. Basically, the trade deadline happens at the last week of the buys.
Yeah.
Because Dustin Martin be like, geez, it's warm on the Gold Coast.
I said this
But also
last year.
salary
He's going
cap.
to the Gold Coast, I reckon.
I reckon he'll retire. Because how long does he hang around? If they get belted at Dreamtime, does he do the dimmer from last year?
Oh, it's
God,
in the
I would
blog
have
post.
cooked this.
Shocking.
Anyway, does he do the dimmer from last year? He's like, yeah, I'm done. Like he just retires on the spot.
Maybe.
What's he needs the games total or the goals total, doesn't he?
No, it's
Somewhere-
not goals total.
Games total or something.
He wouldn't be near
Nah.
There's like a games total milestone that he's got to get to.
300?
Oh,
yeah. Could be 300, yeah.
350? Don't know.
No, it wouldn't
Nah,
be.
he
It
hasn't
wouldn't
played
be.
that
He
many.
hasn't
He's had
played that.
injuries.
Hasn't played that
We'll have a look. He's played as we
He's in
go.
Bali
We're
for a
doing this
bit.
on the run. 295. So
Okay, there you go. 300. There you go.
He could.
another
Andy
point. There we
points.
go. Adelaide.
He could Kane Corns it and retire after 300 games
Nice.
Yeah.
with much more accolades than Kane Corns and a way better bloke.
And definitely a head that actually fits his face.
Yeah. But you also think so. Richmond.
How are we still talking about this game?
Go
They
next
got
one, go
smashed.
next one.
Western Bulldogs ruled, but nothing changes from either side.
No,
Richmond stink. We get that. Western Bulldogs still can't trust
Western Bulldogs play GWS in Sydney next Saturday afternoon.
big rivalry game.
3:30.
Showgrounds,
Yeah.
right?
They hate each other.
Toby Green's going to kick someone in the
Is
face.
that their first home game at the showgrounds since like the show, right?
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah.
A long while.
Yeah, probably.
Nice. Gold Coast North. This game sucked. 120-52. Stats boy, take it away.
Well, it was really close in the first sort of quarter and a half.
It
The
was?
first half, yeah, because just the conditions. I think you were saying it.
This
just
is
the most
why-
ugly game of footy I've probably ever watched. You got
what's the technical term? Greasy.
greasy, yeah.
My
It was-
God.
you're greasy.
But also, this is exactly why we won't have an AFL team in Darwin. These conditions are disgusting.
well, if you got a
can't play-
stadium with like aircon or something, maybe I don't know.
that's going to be a roof, and Jim's going to kill you.
In Dubai.
Yeah, in Dubai. Anyway, yeah, North.
Nah.
When you know that it's greasy conditions when Suva is missing easy shots. You got Jed Walter kicking 2-4.
My beloved Jed Walter. Is his
he
actual
actually
full
played.
name.
Yeah, your beloved.
The best AFL player going right now, Jed Walter.
Got the
I
best
believe.
hair in
Also,
the business.
not enough dudes.
James Clements' favourite AFL player, non-Carlton division, Jed Walter. That's his full name. There we go.
Not enough dudes with sweatbands.
Yeah, true.
That's a really good point.
That is a good point.
I love sweatbands. I'm all about the sweatbands.
There was no sweatbands.
No
It's the Bruce
sweatbands.
Dool-
But yeah,
Bruce Dool
Gold
rule.
Coast, they should just play every game in Darwin, as we mentioned before. 5 wins in a row now there, and they won.
They kicked 17-18.
Yeah, 7-8.
It's chaos.
It's very hard to kick accurate there, I've realised.
But
because,
they keep kicking scores up there.
I don't know how they got to 120 because it was nothing,
So,
and then it was just went up.
I'm not on the
yeah.
show next Thursday, but they'll beat Geelong next week.
You
in
are on
Darwin,
the
yeah.
Wednesday show.
Yeah.
You
where
can
we
say
have
that
big
on the
calls.
Oh yeah, you can say that on the Wednesday show, yeah. And
same.
LDU was awesome. Closey was awesome for lots of super coaches out there as well. So
All right,
yeah.
Sunday, Collingwood, West Coast, they smashed them.
Sorry, there's 30 seconds to go and a mark
It's a
has just
draw.
dropped.
Oh my god, it's a draw.
It's currently a
It's
draw.
about to be a
Anyway,
draw.
continue. Collingwood.
103, West Coast Eagles, West Coast Eagle, 37.
Ugh.
They did not score for a very long period.
Back to the old West Coast ways there.
It was gross. It was horrible. What are you doing, West Coast? Seriously, like, did they kick a goal in the second half? I'm just trying to check.
Side note, this is going to be a
Yes,
draw.
Liam Ryan kicked one at the start of the fourth.
Oh,
And we are on to the second draw
That was a
of
throw.
the season. Here
Is
we
it?
go.
5, 4, 3.
He handballs it
Handball,
out.
draw. It's a draw.
Wow.
Give me some extra time. This is crap.
Let's go to OT.
Oh, they actually got a kick in there.
Yeah.
We're going to OT.
Don't
boys.
kill the ball, you dickhead.
Someone got the ball.
Sorry, Gerald.
Amazing.
Harry Kipp would have the sense of mind there.
That
What
was
is
smart,
that?
Yeah.
But there you go.
Both teams below the Bulldogs and above St Kilda.
Love to see it.
The most amazing stat about Collingwood,
Yeah.
West Coast, was that West Coast had more players from their premiership team in 2018 than Collingwood did.
From last year.
Really?
the 2018 game.
Oh, from 20, in that
2018
game.
In that game.
But I think they're a lot older, aren't they?
No,
West Coast?
Collingwood is still like trotting out like the carcass of
Pendlebury and
Pendles
Sidebottom.
and the carcass of
Yeah, that's true,
Sidebottom.
that's
It's
true.
chaos.
Collingwood had the fire sale of a lot of players from that team as well.
Exactly. They pulled the pin,
Yeah.
which is what West Coast did not do.
That's true. That's true.
Which is what Richmond didn't do.
Exactly. Here they are. This was slightly competitive for the first quarter. I think West Coast kicked the first goal. And then you're like, oh, that's okay. Oh, no.
Collingwood kicked like
Then they kicked
10 in a
4
row.
goals the rest of the game.
Oh,
so not great. Harley Reid, bam, bam.
It wasn't amazing. Took a hanger.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
It was fine.
He was okay. Yeah.
Can we stop with the Nick Dacos and Harley
maybe
Reid comparisons?
Next year you might be able to compare him, but right
But
now,
also,
can't. I
Harley
agree.
Reid is a starting ruck rover or midfielder. Nick Dacos for his first 40 games ran off halfback. The comparisons are null and void and do not count.
I like
How
it.
serious he is.
No, I like.
Just look at his. The comparisons aren't. He's the first overall pick. He's in his 8th game.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I like how the competitors in the two young guns going at it, but yeah, Nick Dacos is
You
miles
don't
ahead of him.
learn
miles ahead of
anything.
him.
Like literally your first AFL season.
Yeah.
Like we all understand that it's going to be rough. It's
Absolutely.
going to suck. You're going to have some ups and downs.
Unless you're Nick Dacos.
Nick Dacos is 50 games into his AFL career.
Yeah.
He's a weapon. We
Yep.
understand that. He would have won the Brownlow last year had he not have gotten injured.
Yes.
Harley Reid is unreal.
Yep.
It's also going to take him a little while to be like absolutely like devastated.
Especially he's in a bad team. Nick
8
Dacos
games.
is very good.
It's all pump the brakes. Anyway, Pies good. Eagles bad. 36 touches for Nick Dacos. Josh Dacos had a little bit more oomph today as well. Jack Crisp was fantastic. They sort of moved
He
him
has
out
a couple
of
of
the
games every now and
Without
then
to
where
go,
he kills it.
no to go at the moment, right? So they throw Chris back into the middle. You see a lot more of Alex's favourite, Johnny Noble, as well.
Oh, God bless him.
Yes.
And Josh Dacos, 28 points, 28 disposals though. And it's like, this is
Underrated, Josh Dacos.
This is the moment where you're like, yeah, with their sort of other guys missing due to injury, no Pig in there, no DeGoey, Josh Dacos finally stepped up.
Yep.
Love to see it.
Yep.
And they've got a fascinating run.
They
Collingwood,
do.
Where you're like, they're in the 8 now, and you feel like, it's probably not going to stop. Or will it? Who knows? It's the best part because they have Adelaide this week.
Oh, but a lot of injuries.
Chaos. Then they've got Freo. Then they've got
Where's
the Dogs.
the Freo game?
That's over there.
Ooh.
See, this is like, it's
They
all
should win those.
They should win all of them.
Collingwood are unbeaten in the last 8 games.
Yeah.
So
Chaos.
8 weeks. Sorry, 8 weeks.
8
not 8
weeks,
games.
yeah.
Not 8 games. There was a bye there. My bad.
Carlton should have won that. Anyway, good job, Collingwood. Bad job, West Coast. Take a good, hard look at yourselves. Finally, Adelaide, Brisbane, 90 each.
What the hell?
We've
Not
had
a draw.
Yeah.
Give me some extra time. What's going on?
Oh, shut up.
I'm
let's
going
do
to
it.
keep saying that.
No.
What happens to my tips?
You
get the
get a tip. So there you go.
Adelaide,
You got,
yeah,
you got
yeah.
7.
Yeah,
I
I
got
tipped
6.
Adelaide. Darcy Fogarty. This was the final. He
How many did you end
finally
up on?
stood up and was like, I'm the man. Kicked 4.
Well, so did Archie. That's a career high.
Callum Archie's not the man.
But he
That's
kicks
the man.
4.
That's just like, cool. Like, you'll never do it again.
Surely that's Callum Archie's career
Yeah.
high. I've never seen him.
But Isaac Rankin started in the midfield, and he had one of his best games of the season so far. 3 goals, 20-odd touches.
Oh,
I was actually
awesome.
all over the ranking stuff for betting stuff, just because I'm like, they're going to actually finally do something at home.
Yeah.
And he'll be in the thick of it. You could see it leading to this over the last few weeks. Finally, they do. And unfortunately, ends up 13-12, 13-12 each.
Crazy.
Which is hilarious because it just puts both of their seasons on hold for one more week.
Yeah, they're like, we probably
Well,
needed a win there.
There's 4 points to be better than 2. But
Yeah.
I'll still take it. For Adelaide, look, they should have won.
Well, they were 12 points down, and they've just
They
kicked
came
back.
all the way
No, they
back.
came back.
They
I
came
don't
back,
know.
and then they gave up that last goal, and then they gave
was-
a point. They scored the next point, the last point.
It was pretty even, yeah.
So it's tricky. I don't know. What do you make of Adelaide?
They're in
At home,
better-
they'll be dangerous.
They've
Away
been
from that,
the
they'll
most
stink.
disappointing team, I think, this year.
You said they
other
were
than-
top 4.
Yeah, well, that's just because I think they've got a great list.
Brisbane
They've
are
got
clearly
Rankin-
the most disappointing
Yeah.
team this year. They
Yeah,
made the
yeah.
grand final
Yeah, true,
last year,
true.
and they stink.
They've got a lot of injuries now, though, which isn't helping.
Yeah, so this could be. Well, they've got Richmond next week, so they'll get another win.
Who's that, Brisbane?
Yeah.
Yep.
Up there. So
I called the team from the season from hell team.
yeah.
I called that Brisbane like week 2.
You did.
And I'm like,
It's still
I don't-
going. It's
it's
still
like,
going.
I'm still not being proven wrong.
It is
I'm just
often
saying.
one of the grand final teams, usually the one that loses. Has
Like the
has
bottom
its
falls
worst
out of
season.
somebody,
The
right?
Swans started last year with the year from hell, all
Yep.
the injuries, and
Yep.
then they've just
Geelong
scraped
last
into the
year,
8.
Bulldogs
Well, both of them,
struggled
yeah.
after making grand finals. Yeah.
All right, tipping results.
I think you got 7, that means, because you get a tip for a draw.
Nice.
Hey.
That's what you got.
6, yeah.
Alex.
I got 5 or 6. Yeah, I'll have to check.
Nice. I didn't actually put mine into tips.
It was
I
actually
can't
a
believe it.
hard week on tipping, but
Not if you're me.
7's
Just
still,
saying.
7's still good.
All right, full credit to the boys. Best team that we saw in round 9. That'd be Sydney.
Hey.
The red and white. They looked unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, it was annoying and it was hard to sort of separate the idea that they were playing Freo on Friday night.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my pick for this was either going to be Sydney or Essendon because I couldn't give it to Carlton. Ugh.
No.
Port,
You can't.
probably not. They looked awesome, but you
Crap
just
the
can't
bed.
trust that because
Yeah.
you're like, what's going to happen now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So it's Sydney. They looked inexorable. They never look that.
It's never easy
You
playing
almost
in
feel
the West.
Yeah, well, they've won their last. I think it's 3 or 4 games over there now, and beaten Freo their last 3 times over there, and they've beaten West Coast a few times. But you feel like the winner of next week's game, Sydney and Carlton, is probably the team of the week, no matter what.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I haven't actually looked at all the fixture yet.
Well,
but
it's the biggest game of the week. Like,
Are they?
if North win, no.
If Sydney win, yes. If Carlton win, still probably not. Gross. So I think you were going to say Sydney anyway, weren't you, Alex?
yeah, I was going to say the Swans as well, but because you had it, I'll roll with Port. Like going
Port
to Geelong.
might have saved their season.
Yeah, that was great. No matter them almost losing it, that was a great win.
Talking to people I know from Adelaide, it's like if Port, if they go win, loss, it's all right because the people don't start hating massively. But if they lose 3 or 4 in a row, the knives come out.
It's because they can't remember 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of problems with Port.
pretty much.
Keep the rabbits out, China. Stats boy.
Essendon.
Oh, gross.
I don't really like talking about Essendon.
I mean, wait. Right. Yes.
Yeah, you're trying to jinx them. Yes, they were amazing.
No,
So-
Essendon are fantastic. They're the best team in the comp.
They were not the best team in the comp, but I had no hope. I didn't think they were going to beat GWS. So many depth players that I thought weren't very good players coming up this year and playing well, like Guelphy popping up. You got so many other guys just popping
Future
up.
Brownlow medalist Nick Hind.
Yeah, other than Nick Hine. Langford becoming a power forward and just kicking goals every week. And then they only conceded 3 GWS goals in the second half. That's the biggest stat of the weekend, I think.
Guelphy going off was chaos.
Yeah.
Like 2 meter Peter doing not a giant amount.
It's
kicking
good.
goal
It's a
wise,
good
but he
thing,
was
yeah.
like pushed up the field a lot of this, and you're like, that's actually probably better.
The last 2 years, they're like,
Let
2 minute
Langford
Peter
cook.
has to kick 6 and we
Let
can't win. So.
Langford cook. He's a weapon.
He's great. So
when he
Essendon-
misses, it's a surprise.
He's
now.
probably their most important player.
I love him.
Yep.
He missed
Even
on
in-
Anzac Day.
In front of Zeret, right?
Oh, my
It's like
computer, my dad.
Zeret's handy, cool. Langford is unreal.
Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love Essendon, just saying. Best on ground of the week. I didn't realize I stole Alex's here as well. Petrarca was absolutely incredible.
What are you guys going to look at the run sheet?
That
or-
was
All right,
3 picks in a row.
combination Cripper and Walsh. They were
There you go,
absolutely.
you
Like,
can do-
there was
I was
absolutely no way Carlton win that game on Thursday if it wasn't for Walsh.
Amazing.
And Cripps in the contest, and like in terms of contested possessions and all that sort of stuff, it's like the one thing that Carlton can basically hang its hat on is that the way that they still cook games like this, right?
Yeah.
And they had 20 less inside 50s than Melbourne.
That's
and
not
somehow won this game.
This is
20,
also the
that's a
20.
worry.
It's
Yeah.
It's,
insane.
it's the worry about Melbourne's forward line, which
Yeah.
is what we've been saying for.
No, you get it down
I've
there a
been
lot.
yelling about for a year.
100%.
But it's like the clearances, they were right there with it as well. They won the contested possession because of those dudes. And look, they were incredible. Love that. But on the other side, you're just watching Petrarca and you're like, he's almost won the game single-handedly.
Yeah,
Crazy.
One of the most impressive performances we'll see
Of
from
the
a
year, I
single
reckon,
player
yeah.
all year. Just
Yep.
like, boys, jump on my back. I'm going to lift you there.
Yep.
He was there, and then shout out to Heaney, 28, 6 score involvements, eight clearances.
Not bad.
Stats boy?
Oh, I think it has to be Zach Butters. Everyone's talking up Horn Francis. He's sort of the flashy guy at Port, but Butters does the in and out. Butters is very flashy as well, but I think he does all the in and under work that
I
sometimes
think
you don't
just
see.
hate Jason
He
Horn
really
Francis for
does.
some reason.
I do.
I tell you what.
I do, but he's not. He's
I'm not entirely sure why that could be, though.
I think he's not as good a player as Butters. He's an amazing
baths.
player.
Yeah,
Ice baths,
ice
yeah.
baths.
How
Yes.
much better would North Melbourne be with Jason Horn Francis and Harley Reid?
We'd still be last with 0
No,
wins.
you wouldn't.
We would.
Because you wouldn't have drafted
Everyone's
two
saying-
midfielders
I'm not
this
going
year.
there.
You would
Remember
have
how
picked
Collingwood
defenders.
basically came second last one year and then they were in the grand final the year
Yeah.
after?
Yes.
And you know
That
what?
would have been you guys.
Yeah.
Just imagine.
Because
It definitely
that,
would.
Holly Reid, Babylon, we don't need him. Babylon, we don't need Holly Reid, Babylon. Whoa, Holly Reid, Babylon. Says
that's
the
you.
North fan.
You'd be so much better with Harley Reid and Jason Horn
We'd
Francis.
still be
in
on
midfield.
0 wins. I'm standing
No,
by
you
that.
wouldn't.
We
You would have won 2 games.
We
by
have
now.
Aiden Core playing, Zach Fisher playing. We have no, anyway. That's another. Zach Fisher actually played right.
Zach
Anyway,
Fisher's a
Zach
weapon.
Fisher was great.
he was
I
great
love Zach
for once. Zach Butters definitely my best on ground of the week.
You just like all Zacks.
Yeah.
Old mate, no mate. Oh, do you want to throw anything else? Oh, you already
He
said
talked about
Petrarca,
tracking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Old mate, no mates. Ross Lyon.
Stole it again.
I didn't realize I stole this one. There was also Rowan Marshall, same game. But the old mate, no mates. The vibe of this of like Ross Lyon, the reason he has a gig is because of his mates.
Yeah.
His old mate,
A lot of
no
people don't
mates at
like
the moment though,
Ross as
because
well.
the shine,
He got him sacked, didn't he?
it's wearing off.
Yes.
The shine, the Ross Lyon shine of like, ha ha, I've come in, I've fixed our woes. 5 months later.
Yeah.
The woes are still
bottom
there.
four
It's
later.
like absolutely brutal. So they make the finals last year. They are currently sitting there, 3-6, as I said.
Ugh.
And they got pumped in the finals.
They
We were there.
Yeah, it was
the big
great.
sound.
I think the worst part is you watch a St Kilda game and you're like, what is their plan?
They've just got guys that panic a lot. Yeah, like
It's-
Bono panics.
I think
Sinclair's been panicking,
at
which is
times
bad.
last year, you
Wilson
go-
is their best player.
Yeah.
Last year, you just go, look, they
Or
want
steal.
to use these clamps. You want me to
Yeah.
use these clamps? Like, we're going to break out the clamps. We're going to use the clamps. We're gonna do clamps. Great. It was horrible football, but it was effective.
Yeah.
So far this year, everyone's gone, what are
They're
those?
trying to play
Are you
way more
trying to put on the
attacking.
clamps?
Yeah.
See ya. And it's just ridiculous.
Yep.
The worst part is he's like out there blaming runners. He's just blaming everybody else but
It's
himself.
Still
classic deflection to try and be like, oh, my job's not under pressure. It's like, no, you
Just
suck.
say we've been crap and
I think
move
the
on.
worst part is that he's trying to be like David King or Kane Corns, not a coach.
Yeah.
So, but it's like
He's basically trying to give the media talking points that aren't about him.
yeah.
And I'm like, that's not good. And luckily, you've still got mates in the media because they're not blowtorching him. But get it absolutely right there. Ross Lyon should be under the blowtorch.
I
They've
think-
been
I think he
so
will be
bad.
this way.
Well,
I
here
think
you
he
go.
will be.
St Kilda's top 9 goal scorers from last year. Jack Higgins, suspended. Butler, injured, but
Yeah, but he's been horrible this
he
year
looks
anyway.
gone.
Yeah, he's been
King
horrible.
struggling, Owen's struggling, Gresham's at Essendon, Caminiti had that one good game, Cooper Sharman can't get near it.
Nah.
Mason Woods
He's
played
been
3
alright.
games,
Yeah, he's
and
been
Filippo he's just dropped off the face of the
Yeah,
earth this
yeah.
year. And you throw in
Well,
Tim
he got
Membry.
dropped this week, right?
Yeah, and then
Which
you
is
throw and then
crazy,
you
yeah.
throw in Tim Membry, who he'll take a mark and kick a long goal, but that's about it.
Remember Tim Membry? I remember. Anyway, Rowan Marshall, talk about old mate, no mates. He almost, they still
What is
lost
it with
the game.
Ruckman taking kick-ins?
Why
in
is he
Tassie?
taking a kick out? Yeah.
He just wanted to be like his hero, Tim English, which is fine. He kicks it out directly to Ginnivan. Doesn't cost them the game
Almost.
directly, but geez,
Doesn't
because
help.
Ginnivan sprayed it. But either way, weird game, strange game. Ross Lyon, blowtorch. Here we go.
Yeah.
I
That's
think we
boy.
might need to do a AFL coaches power rankings week on week.
We
as
should
well now.
actually, yeah. Ross down the bottom.
Maybe not
Ken
every
Hinkley's
week.
risen up. We could do a couple of them, I reckon, yeah. My old mate, no mates, Mark O'Connor. I think that's his first mention on the show. He just
This
seems
is
off.
racist.
The first, okay, well, because he's Irish.
Yeah.
Is it? Like just because you're a part Irish or something. He's
Irish
standing up.
citizen,
You
thank
didn't
you.
even know who he was before this show, so I'm standing
He
by.
literally
this.
didn't know who he was.
So
Just
anyway,
saying.
Mark O'Connor, he's literally running
That's your
towards the
brethren,
ball.
Alex,
He's
and you
like,
don't
I'm
know
going
who
to
it
take it
is."
inside, Mark. I'm going to take it inside, Mark. Oh, my guy's out the back.
I'm
He
more
did
of
that
an-
3 times. All of his teammates, Tom Stewart's like, what the hell are you doing? Play footy, mate. He did it. And he did it in the last quarter, cost him the game.
See, I'm
Mark
a big
O'Connor,
Osen
yeah.
Mullen
Horrible.
guy.
Old mate, no mates.
Mullen was
I'm
Fine.
a Mullen guy.
Mullen. Yeah, he's
Chaos.
good, yeah. Throw him off the bench.
Chaos game, that one, though.
My computer.
Alex.
Reece Stanley. If you're getting
was
subbed
bad,
10
yeah.
minutes into the second quarter, you are literally old mate, no mates.
Got no mates. It's like, coach is like, yeah, get him off.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
like-
come on, man.
Do you reckon he went home? He lives in
Probably.
Geelong, yeah.
It's like when
Gotta
Mbappe
get up
got
early to go
subbed
for
that
it.
day at halftime. He was in the stands for the
Yeah,
second half.
with
having
his
a
mum.
drink.
With his mum, yeah. That was pretty
Gotta
funny.
get up early for a surf, mate.
Yeah.
Just gotta get home. Right.
Stats guy's laptop died.
Yeah, I don't need it. I know what the last thing I was going to say.
And the other one is why I can't stand politicians in footy.
Oh, no.
That was
Politicians in footy.
weird.
I just think it's weird how we lionize this idea of like, look, Julia Gillard, Bulldog supporter. Cool.
Full enough.
That's all right.
That's fine.
Elbow,
We're Australia.
getting around like the Hawks. Fine.
Full enough.
Even ScoMo cosplaying as a Sharks fan.
Fake enough.
was weird.
No, he's not fake.
He was
loves
a
the
fake.
He
No,
loves
no,
the
he
Sharks.
doesn't.
Oh, I don't know.
I just can't stand the way that we go, they're here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's like, they're just nerds. They're politicians. Who cares?
We are one of the countries,
Do
like
you
one of the
reckon they're
countries
checking the Supercoach scores at halftime as well?
You'd hope so.
Albo
Look,
would.
If Elbo's
I don't
down
reckon,
there,
I
it's
don't
like,
reckon.
get a stadium deal done. Like, what are you doing? Why are you
Your
in the
scoreboard.
circle? Like this, I think that's probably the weirdest part.
That
Like,
was weird, yeah.
Getting in the circle, it's like you didn't contribute to this win.
The
Get out of
players
here.
did
They were
tell
all
him
over
to.
it. It's fine.
Which
But this is
I
it.
wouldn't as a player, but
I just think in general, like if we're going to yell at athletes, stick to sports. Politicians, get out of sports.
I mean, they should do their jobs rather than going to the
do your
footy.
job.
Yeah.
Just do your
Just do
bloody
your job.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Also, I mean, I also can't stand Pies fans complaining about Marvel. No one cares.
But it's
Shush.
like, oh, it's so unfair. It's like you're literally contracted to play
And
two
they play
games.
too many games at the MCG anyway. It's
Carlton
unfair.
are like, look, our home ground is the MCG and Marvel.
Yeah, but it's,
Same as
it's
Essendon,
literally
yeah.
a
Essendon,
contract.
same
Well,
thing.
I know Collingwood fans might not be able to grasp the legal concept of a contract.
They do struggle with the idea of like legal contracts that aren't like their actual, I don't know,
Bail conditions.
bail
Suddenly.
conditions. Their ideas are like having to stay 50 yards away from their other, like, you know, spouses.
We've got lots of Collingwood
Yeah,
fans
it's
on
like-
here.
Their rental
They're going to be
agreements.
watching this.
I don't want to say anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Alex, what can't you stand?
We are a $1 billion industry in the AFL.
Oh, I thought you were going to say us.
You are?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we're
AFL
technically
Today
part
is,
of it.
yeah.
Yeah, we're,
$10
the
billion.
AFL is a multi-billion dollar industry, correct?
It is.
Yep.
What is one of the most important things when coming to watching the game of football when
Pies.
you're watching on TV?
Oh.
Having a correct call.
Having a correct call. So why, when a game makes so much money, do we have Dwayne Russell sitting in his studio like this going, oh, he's kicked it, no.
You can't tell, yeah.
I think he missed it. Get him to the ground calling the games.
Yep.
Fork out the $200 for the Jetstar flights. Seriously, you are taking 9 games per round next year to call all games. I don't care if it's Adam Papalia at Fremantle calling all the games. Fly him around Australia. Honestly, just do your job.
Yep. Oh, fair call. I got nothing against that. I got nothing
because
against
they don't know what's going on.
No.
And then Marcus is like, boys, there's someone on the ground here. You need to get a camera on it. It's like, guys, just go to the ground.
Yep.
Seriously.
Howie's just trying his best.
How is it the IPL at the moment? And you know what? At the ground.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
I'm sick of listening to Derm in his studio talking about the Swans. I love Derm, but just get him to the SCG.
It is a Twitter favourite.
Oh, yeah.
It is just weird.
It's like Kelly Underwood and Dermot sitting in a studio, Dermot rabbiting on about one thing that he's thought about
Yeah,
that
for
day.
ages,
He's
yeah.
like, why is he still talking about that?
I love Derm.
And Kelly just go, he's kicked? No, he hasn't kicked that. Dwayne Russell going, I think he's kicked. No, they haven't
no,
kicked
we
that.
can't see.
Also, no hatred on them. They're literally stuck by
They're
the
doing-
tools that are with them.
Basically,
Yeah, it's not their fault.
It's not their
They're
fault.
handcuffed by the
They're
tools.
calling what they can see.
Yeah.
And what they should be able to see is stuff while they're at the ground.
Whereas SEN flies their radio callers to the ground.
Great. Yeah.
Shout out to our man, Phil.
I
Yes.
also think it's weird, like just have local commentators for everything.
So that's my thing for next year. It's like, so I was listening.
surgery.
We've never had that.
I
yet,
was
have we?
listening to Triple M on the drive into the Adelaide Brisbane game. The dude who was Rhett Biglands was one of the callers, which was wild.
That's
but
random.
the other guy, I thought
That
it was,
other guy.
I thought it was Barry Denner, but then I heard, oh, Yatesy, what do you think? He had the best voice. Sign him up for the Adelaide games for TV next year. I don't care. He's great.
Nice.
Nice.
At the ground.
Good up. Stats boy, what can't you stand?
We were just talking about this before. A Collingwood fan grabbing
Gerald.
Harvey Johnson. The ball's gone over the boundary line. Harvey Johnson of West Coast. The ball's gone over the boundary line. The fan gets it, scruffles the West Coast player's hair.
Grabs
Fan
him
should
around
not-
the head.
Grabs him around the head. Fans should not touch players in any sport. What the hell is he doing? The commentators were laughing about, oh, he's a funny handball. Get stuff. The guy, bloody face tattoo, he looked like a big nuff. What are you doing? You should never touch a player. Harvey Johnson just laughed it off, thank God. I would have been a bit nervous if I was him.
If that was in
just weird. That's
Tasmania,
just-
as we said, James Sicily would have punched
Exactly.
someone.
Sicili's in the stands.
Exactly. So I don't know. I just can't stand fans. All right, you're front row. You want to be front row. You paid for your seat. Fair enough. You don't step on the ground or you don't touch players. That's a dumb move.
So should he get fined? It's not a public holiday, even though it's Mother's Day.
I don't think
should
he
get
will.
fined the $9,900?
Oh, what, like for stepping on?
Yeah.
Nah. Oh, I think he's
definitely
lucky.
paid in cash.
I think he's lucky that Harvey in cash in a paper bag.
I also worry, like, yeah, if it's Collingwood fans touching players, it feels 4 times worse.
It does. It does.
Because there's just so many other repercussions, like STDs. What are they called now? STIs. There you go. I don't know, just transmissible diseases in general.
Stats guys are known STD.
We just probably know that they won't be able to bite them properly. Anyway, quick Supercoach wash. Big week in Supercoach in
big
terms
scores.
of we had some huge scores for some players. I'm
to check
just
mine, yeah.
tweaking your nose there, Collingwood fans. I love you as well. I think you're the best team in the AFL.
The third best team of this episode.
Robert Marshall had 164. Ed Richards has been.
They've been playing him in the mid.
They keep
Yeah.
playing him in the middle because the liver is just cooked and
Liver is
working.
cooked.
is
It's
literally
working.
not playing, right?
Jordan Dawson just ripped off 142
Love
before
that.
scaling.
So 163 for Ed Richards. Ollie Wines, as mentioned, Brownlow winner Ollie Wines, 157. Trelaw topped the 150. Sarong had the 150 and Dacos, who was everybody and your mum's dog, their pick for captain this week.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you had been listening to the official Supercoach podcast,
Also, I got on him, yeah.
mate, Jim
I
nailed
was
that
captain.
one. Pendles Butters also had 147 as well. Dawson 142, Rankine 142.
Did you say
Just
Pendles?
huge,
Wow.
huge
Petrarca
week.
134.
So keep an eye on your Supercoach scores. I reckon everyone will be through the roof.
Yep.
2340.
That is pretty
Ooh,
good.
That's what I think I got 23-38.
Oh,
So
sucked in.
he's
Suck
beating
it,
me.
stats guy.
Damn it. I didn't play you this week, thank you.
23.75, baby.
Bang.
But the other ones that sort of maybe didn't live up to it.
Aaron Cadman.
Cadman forgot how to play footy.
Had a rough one.
It's time to trade if you've still got
It
him.
is definitely
Okay,
time to
me.
trade. He's not making any money anymore. He would have gone down, which is guttering because I think his break even was 42. So
49.
Or 49, yeah.
And Luke Ryan was the most traded in player last week, and I think he had a pretty good one as well.
Oh, he junked 12 disposals in the last. The Swans couldn't miss all night, and then the Swans in the last quarter decided to not get over 100 points and give Luke Ryan a couple of kick-ins.
Just for super, they're all their Supercoach
That's
teams.
honestly what it was.
Yeah.
What did he actually end up on? 111. So it's not bad. Like,
That's
considering
pretty
you're
good.
watching that game, like how
He was
what?
on like 50 at three-quarter time.
Nice one.
Tim Mitchell was just not happy.
Yeah,
Love
on Twitter, he's always.
We'll have the official AFL Supercoach podcast tomorrow. All right, that's it though for AFL today. We got our second draw of the year. What do we say? Overtime.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Draw is a result.
No, it's not, you cowards. All right, AFL today. That's it. Done for today. Thank you to Alex and carrying on his Swans love.
God
they
bless.
are the best team in the AFL, alongside Carlton, Essendon, Collingwood,
North Melbourne.
Port Adelaide, Geelong.
You won't hear this on AFL 360 next week, but the Swans are good.
Really?
Oh, jeez. Is there a team in Sydney?
There's two shocking.
What?
Yeah, right?
I watch a lot of AFL media, and I don't think there
they
is.
play NRL
Yeah.
there.
It's ridiculous.
All
Anyway.
40 seconds on Channel 9 this morning.
And thank you to Stats Boy.
Thank you.
I love that the Ruse. I mean, we
I
need
don't
more
love anything about
Clarko
it.
ball talk. What's happened? Rue ball.
You're
Well,
just
it's the
amazing.
worst start to a season since 1972. I didn't
See,
get
the
that
good
out
thing
of it.
is, like,
For us.
Chelsea's season is about to end, so that
We're going really well
you're
now,
starting to win, but
yeah.
that pain's over, and you just
North's not over.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just need to get one win and I'll be happy.
You've got an entire winter of pain ahead of you. Like,
yeah,
that's
but
the worst part.
But no, but he had the North Melbourne getting smashed by 60 points and Chelsea getting beaten 5-0 a couple of weeks ago.
Sure.
Don't worry about
He
it.
also looks like that. Right. Remember to smash a
Said
like
you.
across the socials to see us doing stuff.
That is
And
outrageous.
filling in your footy gaps all throughout the week, of course.
Shout out to that Sydney Swans fan Twitter account
Yes.
today that gave us a mad shout out.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
if you're listening for the first time.
Legends.
You got a lot of Sydney chat from Alex in this show.
Well, it's when they're the best team in the AFL. It's warranted. No one else covers them. We do.
Yes.
We're fair to everyone. We give
To be
everyone
honest,
a crack.
like if we should actually have a screenshot of how many notes he took.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
mean.
but
Let
the
him
funny
read out
thing is,
3.
there's more of them on my phone.
Did you take your laptop to the game?
He was on the treadmill.
Yeah, I'm joking.
Tapping away. Anyway, check out AFL Today on IG, X, Threads, TikTok, of course, YouTube. I think, what is it? Sports Today on
Yep.
Facey. Subscribe, star, and like all of our other shows on your podcast apps as well, right? AFL Today Show alongside Cricket Today podcast, Football Today podcast. Football Today is covering what at the moment? A lot of Matildas.
A-League finals.
A-League
We've
finals,
got
yep.
the Arsenal women are coming out in the next couple of weeks
There
as
we go.
well.
A lot of
The
debate
Matilda-
topics as well.
And the Matildas do have a couple of friendlies coming up as well.
Nice one. There is actually also a Cricket Today podcast live stream.
Yes, tonight.
Sunday night.
You would have, yeah.
Probably
would
already
have happened.
But either way.
And hold all tickets as well. We had a good weekend tipping as well.
NBA Australia's in the thick of the playoffs. NFL Australia's on hiatus because off season.
Gaz
Yes.
is lazy.
Anyway, actually, yeah, I probably should have hung out with him last night, but it was because I was lazy. All right, get all around all of those shows like John Dorotich getting around to Spill Mark and the, I don't know, down at the Western Oval up against the Bulldogs as Carlton kicked 1 goal 10 for an entire game back in 1992. All right, that's it. We'll catch you later this week for more AFL Today. That's right, we are the Sunday night show, the Wednesday, and then Thursday teams and a whole bunch of stuff in between on the socials. So check it all out. That's it for AFL Today. Till then, look out yourselves and remember, footy is back.